Hello everybody, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I just got done posting a video of Little Miss Possum this morning. Her favorite place to be scratched right around here in this area, basically. A little bit in through here, but she loves to be scratched right there in her cheeks. Oh, she goes nuts. I know she's always scratching herself in those areas and um, sometimes a little bit too hard, and yeah, it winds up being she winds up with some scabs and so forth. It's like, gosh, I just can't figure out why, and I'm always trying to brush her in those areas, just to scratch really, really good because just loves it so much, goes nuts. But I don't know. I don't know if maybe it might be allergy issues or what have you. I know she does get drainage every once in a while also. So it could be that. But anyway, yeah, I definitely took the night off last night. I after I got done eating my chicken dinner and cleaning up the kitchen and everything. I was a good girl. I did my yoga stretches. Really pushed it yesterday, and I also laid down on my acupressure mat and pillow. And yeah, I I will admit I was a little tempted not to lay on them last night, but I'm like, nope, keep going, get religious about this. And oh wow, yeah, I curled up, I died for several hours last night, and of course I had to get up, eat, because I had to take my insulins and so forth. But yeah, I woke up this morning feeling great. It was like, oh, I needed that so much. And first thing I did was I got up because I want to make my soup today. And first thing I did is I got up and made my noodles. Yeah, I make noodles from scratch. I think I have the recipe on the blog. I'm not too sure, but I think I do. But yeah, it was really I kind of shot myself in the end. I wasn't expecting what I did. Because if you make homemade noodles, at least the recipe that I use anyway, um, when you combine you got to mix your I know I got hair all over floating around all over the place now from scratching her. But anyway, yeah, when you got to combine your dry and your wet ingredients first before you combine them together. And once you combine them together, you got to act fast, especially here in the desert with the dryness. Even though we have had storms in the area, it didn't rain or anything right here around right where I'm at, but I guess apparently they got some lightning strikes up there on Spring Mountain, which is basically right there next to Mount Charleston. And I guess there's some fires up there now. So, but anyway, yeah, you got to act real fast to when you combine those ingredients, mixing get them mixed up together real fast, combine into the ball, and rolling it out as thin as you possibly can before it dries out. Um, so, and if, of course, living here in the desert, you got to do it even faster. So, but yeah, after everything was said and done, rolling them out, cutting them. I just use a butter knife. I don't have a pasta maker. I don't care for one either. So I just prefer doing it the old-fashioned way. Take them, roll them out on the counter. Um, I got a marble rolling pin, and I have a stone countertop where I'm at right now, and cut them out. Excuse me, and you know how you get in those adrenaline rushes, and then and once you come down afterwards, you take that do that kind of like sigh of relief or whatever. I did that without even thinking about it, and I caught myself after I did it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, no pain. I was in complete shock. I was like, oh my gosh, no pain. I was like, yay for me. Don't get me wrong, I feel it, a little bit here and there, like getting into some of the positions, like when I was just petting Possum here a minute ago and everything, or more like scratching her. But it's like, oh my gosh, total almost a 180-degree turnaround from a week ago. I'm like, wow. It's like, yeah, total shock. Did not expect it. I have not, and I was, when I've been searching for answers, basically trying to get help. I'm like, okay, I might not be able to have a cure or something, but just get me to a point where I can manage. That's all I care about, so I can go back to my regularly scheduled life, basically. It's like, oh my gosh, that's all I've wanted for the over a year and a half, ever since I had that virus. And it's like, gosh, it's all I want. I just want to be out of pain. Be able to breathe again and everything. And of course, these last 2, 3 weeks with the wildfires, the smoke from the wildfires being in the area, really flaring up the allergies and everything. It's like, oh my gosh, it's been such a struggle and everything. And I actually got to thinking the other night when I was working, I'm like, and especially with my head clearing finally and everything, and I'm like, this reminds me of sepsis. I'm like, oh my gosh, you think that maybe, with the allergy infection. I know I had an infection with what I brought up the other night and everything, Tuesday night, and with everything, and then just thinking back to how I've been feeling, reacting, and so forth. I'm like, gosh, this reminds me of being septic. I'm like, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if maybe I was. I'm not saying that I was, but I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if maybe I was. And it's like, oh my gosh, and that's dangerous. That can be very dangerous. And especially since I didn't go to the hospital and get help. Oh my gosh, I guess goes to show how healthy I really am still. It's like, yay. Even though doctors are always harping on, oh, you gotta be careful with it, because you're a type 1 diabetic, and, you're autoimmune deficient, this and that and everything. It's good to know I'm still pretty healthy, despite everything I've been through over the last year and a half. It's like, yeah, all right, we're making progress. Huge progress. Definitely huge thumbs up. So, yeah, definitely love it. Um, yeah, this is awesome. It's like total turnaround. Even if I have to do this for the rest of my life, it's worth it, just to be able to breathe. Yeah, see that? A little bit, but not anywhere near what I was. But yeah, um, just and no sore throat. Love it, because I've been dealing with bad sore throats to the point where it's been difficult to eat, even being able to, very difficult being able to breathe. And it was all right here, right down here in the base of the trachea. Um, it's been brutal, but guess what? Yeah, pushing through it. So, still, of course, still going to go see the pulmonologist. I want to make sure. I'm still going to get the testing done, the lab work done, and everything. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I'm clear throughout all this, so it be as normal as possible, so I can see where I'm at with those CBC counts. I definitely, I don't want those counts to be skewed by anything that has been happening here lately. So I'm holding off for now. So, yeah, this has just been amazing. And getting that sleep last night, I desperately, desperately needed that sleep. But I, if it definitely was sepsis, it was a good thing I kept moving. It's a very good thing I kept working, kept moving. Yeah, I wound up wrecking my car a little bit in the process. Not with the street racing, basically. No, this was before. If you've been following my videos, you know what I'm talking about with what I did. I don't even remember when that happened at this point, but it makes sense because my brain hasn't been with me and and everything. So it makes sense, if I was out of it, when I jumped that curb, I still have no idea how in the hell I did that. Basically, what I did was I hit I hit a curb on my driver's side, and I know I jumped the curb, but somehow or another, the rubber inside the wheel well wound up getting caught on the curb. I don't have any idea how in the hell that happened. I wound up ripping it off. So it's like, all right, whatever. It's the least of my worries right now. But yeah, I it all makes sense with the frame of mind that I was in, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I was sicker than I realized. I see that now. It's like, whoa, I didn't belong out there. But at the same point, yeah, it was a good thing, especially once I evacuated, basically, or started evacuating everything. It was a good thing that I kept myself moving, even though I probably didn't belong out there on the road. It was a good thing I kept myself moving, help keep pushing all that mess out of me. And I know that's the reason why I was having all those upset stomachs, all that nausea. So, but yeah, total turnaround. I am shocked, but I'm going to keep things going, keep it going. Especially doing those stretches, laying down on the mat and everything. I realize I probably shouldn't be having eating the inflammatories, excuse me, with the gluten. And yeah, instead of doing almond milk or what have you, been with the regular milk. Um, but I also know I need to. Well, I know I need the calcium because the calcium will help with the bone structure. But I also keep going with my hot cocoa drinks because of the magnesium. And I also got to thinking about it with the sweet almond oil. That's also going to have the magnesium in it as well. So, I'm getting it internally and also um, putting it on topically. So, yeah, and I did add some more when and of course with the essential oil mixture, watch that video for those recipes from Tuesday. And I definitely, when I've been keeping those going as well. So I know that's helping. And I added, I don't know, I felt like I wanted more lavender and rose. So I'm like, all right, I'll take the chance and add more. And I'm glad I did. I was just breathing it in. Of course, it was going absorbing into my body also topically. Wow. Just feeling so much better. I know. Did you just see that? I just caught myself again. It's like, whoa. I've been living in so much pain and everything for so long. It's like, whoa, this is, and heck, even my hand is tingling a little bit now. Ooh, got some of that, got some more oxygen in. It's like, whoa, tingling a little bit. Yeah, it's going to take a while. Let's face it. I've been living with this for actually over almost 2 years. December will make 2 years. Total, yeah. Wow. I'm just shocked. I really, really am. And I shouldn't be shocked because of, everything I've, went through, with the back of the head and everything, and basically doing the same identical things. I just never equated to try doing it with my chest. Hello. I mean, I tried some things that I had used before with the car accident, but it just wasn't working. And then with trying to exercise, to try and help rebuild that, if anything, I was making it more detrimental. So I stopped. If anything, I was hurting myself in other ways as well, especially my elbows. Oh my gosh, I was just really hurting my elbows with the joint inflammation. It was one of the big reasons why I stopped. Yeah, I've got a little bit, but with doing the yoga stretches, it's at least I'm not targeting or I'm not working my elbows, those joints as much. But yeah, no, actually, I've been thinking that, gosh, if I can get myself back this much and everything, maybe at some point I can get myself back to doing some workouts. That would be awesome. Be able to get back to doing some exercises. And of course, after we get through the heat, I definitely plan on getting back to doing my walks and everything. It's just too hot. Even first thing in the morning, if I could get out there and it's just been too hot. It's been a really hot summer this year, record-breaking temperatures, 120 degrees. Yeah, I'm not going out walking in that. So, but yeah, making, I know I got another hair. There it is. Uh, love me, love my cat. And I've had a lot of different babies. Actually, she's the more normal of the pets that I've had. I've had ducks. I had a squirrel, and I used to be a wildlife rehabilitator, and they were all just unreleasables. But I've had parakeets, bunnies, and so forth. These weren't unreleasables. These were domestics. But she's actually the first normal pet that I've had, and oh my gosh, probably over 30 years. I like my exotics. Yeah, I do miss them. So, but yeah, I'm definitely feeling. I know. See that? Um, I'm doing it so much here lately. It's been awesome, but getting there. I'm getting there. And that's what matters. You gotta keep pushing through. You gotta keep you can't just rely on conventional medical science, because it's not the end all. They're still learning things about the human body as well. I mean, it's, yeah, they you might doctors, they may have egos and say, oh, do this. This is, they act like, oh, this is going to be the cure or whatever, but it really isn't. It really, really isn't. I remember there's a movie I had watched. I remembered, I came across it. Um, I'll just come out and say I'm a huge fan of George Papard. I think he was a wonderful actor. I actually cried the day that I found out that he passed away. I was like, oh no. I had been watching some of his movies and TV shows there for a while. Uh, Favorite is Banachek. Unfortunately, can't it's they're not streaming it on Prime anymore. It's like, dang it. And even selling the DVDs. Unfortunately, trying to get those only 2 seasons he did. Ah, wish he was alive. I'd kick his ass. But anyway, there was a movie he did. I remembered seeing it. When it came out back in the 80s, I think. Well, it had to have been. But anyway, it was about a girl. It was based off a true story. It was a girl. She was a ballerina. I don't remember the name of the movie. I'm sure you can do a wiki search for it on and his find it in his filmography. But basically, she was a ballerina and she was diagnosed with cancer. And she came from a very a well-off family and so forth. So of course, they didn't have to rely on traditional insurance and so forth to be able to get things taken care of and everything. But she was in this hospital, and her with her treatments. That she was receiving, it wasn't just radiation and so forth. They were also they were basically doing a combination of uh, um, modern medical medicine, with radiation, and also implementing some homeopathic remedies as well. So I think that there's a time and place for everything, and I think that it's a combination. That's my opinion on things. Yeah, there are things, obviously, with being a type 1 diabetic, obviously I can't rely on homeopathic methods, or just, diet and exercise. No, you can't go down that route, because with type 1, the reason why you're considered to be autoimmune deficient is because your body, for whatever reason, decides one day that your pancreas is an invader and starts creating an antibody to go in, attack and kill it. So, and so because of it, you have nothing in your body to be able to produce insulin, and so your body is in a constant state of offensive or defensive. I'm not entirely too sure how you want to look at that, to basically stay alive, and you need outside medical help, basically your conventional modern medicine help, in order to be able to just live. If I don't take my insulins, um, I will die, plain and simple. Um, and then you won't have those wonderful videos of possum to see anymore. Because she'll probably have a new mommy. So, anyway, so yeah, that's point blank out what it boils down to. But at the same time, there's also homeopathic methods that we can use to help with other things, like with what been going through with the respiratory. I'm really shocked. Yeah, I don't think I'm not gonna say I'm out of the woods yet. This could be just a temporary solution. I still may need um, the external uh, medical help. Who knows? We won't know until we go through everything with a pulmonologist. Fingers crossed that things work out this time. Ridiculous, I know. But it may wind up being a combination of both. So, um, sometimes you got to get creative. Don't just rely on, if you are dealing with things, do your own research. I had to do that with my gut issues. I had gone to see a GI specialist, and his opinion I didn't agree with at all. Oh, just take Imodium 9 times a day, and here, have the free sample of the line. No, mm-mm. There's got to be something out there. So I started doing my own research, and there's actually I found that there's 6 probiotic strains that my body needs in order to stay regulated. And it's in these 2 different brands of yogurts only. And if I go off of them, I start getting sick. Um, it's basically the strains that they use in the Chobani uh, Greek yogurt, and the strains that they use in basically it's the identical strains that in both brands, that they use in the Whole Foods organic uh, um, milk based yogurt. I don't know about any of the plant based, the vegans, or not. I tried them. I couldn't stand the taste. um, but yeah, I've just been sticking with those. And I prefer, of course, the Whole Foods organic, as I do find that I do a lot better with organics than I do with conventional. But in a pinch, if I really don't feel like running all the way over to Whole Foods to get it, I'll go ahead and just run up the road to the local grocery store and pick up the Chobani. and I also find that sometimes I have to kind of switch back and forth between the two. And I definitely, of course, throughout all of this, I have been making sure that I've been sticking with the yogurt no matter what. And I just buy the big tubs, instead of the little ones. I just buy the big tub. Screw it, it's cheaper and easier, and I just eat straight out of it, however much I feel I need. And I've been hitting it a little bit more here lately with dealing with all this infection. So, but yeah, I sometimes I find that I have to kind of switch back and forth between the two. I realize it's the same thing and everything, but my body will might every once in a while get a little bit too accustomed or whatever, and I feel like I'm like, maybe I should switch back and back and forth a little bit. You know how it is when your body gets immune or whatever. So yeah, I definitely I'll do that sometimes. So between the two, so just kind of depends on what's going on and everything. But yeah, if you're dealing with those issues, give that a try. It takes a while for it to kick in and everything, and you don't have to necessarily do the yogurts if you're not a big fan of yogurt. You can do do kefir, which is basically liquid yogurt. But you can try sauerkraut. Kombucha. You can also ferment your own ginger. I do have a recipe. I believe I have the recipe up on the blog. If not, then you can always research it. I was doing that up until I became a diabetic. Unfortunately, I found that with the sugar, yeah, they say that, okay, the sugar is there to feed the bacteria, but unfortunately, I found that there's a lot of residual and it was shooting up my blood sugar, so can't go down that road. Um, but yeah, that is an option. Basically, you're making your own ginger beer. But just look at your labels, and if and those those two yogurts, you can jot down uh, um, what those strains are in those two, and then you can look at other options that are out there. Just make sure that it has all six of those strains in those yogurts, or in those other uh, options, the kombucha or whatever. So yeah, or any other sort of ferments that you might be interested in possibly consuming. So you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to do the yogurts, but um, um, just make sure if you're looking to straighten out any sort of gut issues or what have you, or maybe you come down sick or whatever, and you feel like you might want to boost your immune system, because a lot of our immune system is in our guts. I've become a dietitian over here. It's awful. I never used to be this way, but it is what it is. Yeah, actually, my gut issues was from another virus that I had. Tore me up, and then between that and I found out that I was going through perimenopause basically for the longest time. So all that hormone dumping, and then on top of it, what of course, I think that, to tell you the truth, I was pre-diabetic for uh, during those years also, and I just didn't know it because, of course, I don't go to the doctors. Of course, I do now. But oh well, it is what it is. I'm taking a little bit better care of myself. So, anyway, yeah, definitely feeling a lot better. Getting there. I'm looking forward to definitely looking forward to getting back to doing my walks, my morning walks, and maybe getting back to doing some exercises too. That would be awesome. I would love that. All in good time. That one did hurt a little bit. So, slowly but surely, I'm getting there. Yay! Maybe get back to. I know I've gained a little bit of weight throughout all that's not much, only about 15 pounds, but it'd be nice to be able to get rid of this weight again. Yeah, that would be nice. But I understand. I've been hitting a lot of that sort of stuff that I shouldn't be eating because I've also been looking for energy in all the wrong places. Oops. I know. It's okay. I'll get there. I'm only 140 pounds. That ain't that bad. Thereabouts. Yeah. I might be a couple pounds under now, but I'd like to get back down to 125 again. So, yeah, we'll get there. I guess it's a little bit more than 15 pounds. Oh well, that's all right. I'd like to get back down to that again, but that's okay. I'll get there with a little bit of muscle definition. Yeah, we'll be doing good. All right. Anywho, I better let you go so I can do my yoga and get my suit going. Yay! No bread. I didn't feel like doing bread, and I make my own too, by the way. No bread machine. Mm-hmm. Made from scratch. I just didn't feel like it. Anywho, I'll talk at you later. I love you. Keep fighting the good fight, folks. Keep pushing through. Keep that hope alive. One step at a time, all right? Love you.